that one's called Ocean. Yours truly, Big L in studio, City 2000, Carmichael Road. And I promised you we were going to have a special guest in the building. Before I allow him to introduce himself, I want to remind you all this Morning After is brought to you by Alive, Believe in Best, also National Workers Cooperative Credit Union, Sun Oil Limited, Commonwealth Bank, and Domino's Pizza. Now, welcome to the show, Mr. Vendetta himself. What's going on, Sasha Dunn?
All is good, everybody. This is Sasha Dunn.
What's good, Sasha? Been a long time.
All is good, man. All is good. Things going good, man.
I see I'm following on social media. You got a lot going on. You're constantly posting your music and your whereabouts, and even like you remind people of old performances and all those things. Yeah, you're definitely taking advantage of social media. I give you credit on that.
Yeah, but see, you got to realize you got a platform now, and there's this new future, you see, because you really couldn't do this stuff like 15 years ago, boy.
No, not the level that I see a lot of artists doing it now. A lot of people, the traditional way doesn't work at all anymore. Yeah. If you're not keeping up with technology, especially social media.
And social media is so amazing where it's like connecting you directly with people right there and right then, you know what I'm saying?
That's the power of social media for real.
And the crazy part, like you could be on TV watching like someone on CNN and it'll be like, wow, this person's very interesting. Mm-hmm. Go on Facebook, add them, and say, yeah, I like to do that on CNN. And they respond right back to you in real time. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Instagram, it's Facebook, all those things. Like, the people, and it makes the world seem so much smaller. Because someone could be all the way in Europe, and you can literally, especially with music, you can have a producer all the way in Europe working with you, and you guys never meet face to face. The most you might get is a WhatsApp face call or something, or a Skype call. Yeah. But you guys are working together, producing the whole album. Europe, Bahamas, Africa, it doesn't even matter anymore. The world is so small.
I say that what is freaky about is this, but it's like sometimes because back in the day we was only exposed to the American market. We didn't realize there's whole other markets out there that we don't know about, you know, but
it's a big world.
I think, for instance, there's this African rapper named Casper Vianetti or something like that.
Okay.
I watched Casper Vianetti sell out a whole stadium in Africa. No American artists in them.
Wow.
Just him, but I'm like,
wow.
I mean, there's almost like 50 million, or almost 80 million people, boy.
Wow.
And it's like to think that African artists on this level, and then you have like this other black guy inside England named Stormzy. Okay. Stormzy, he have something like OVO Fest, but it's Stormzy, it's Murky Fest. And this all the way in England. I wouldn't have known what this meant if it wasn't for the internet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and those shows, I mean, and it goes to show like you can be a star somewhere else. I'm talking having major numbers and just not be known in another market, but that does not take away from your stardom. A fan is a fan, a follower is a follower. So all you artists out there who are aspiring to be that superstar, you don't have to only think about North America. There's a big world out there that's just waiting to hear from you. Sasha Dunn's in the building. We'll talk to him about his music. Also, we'll talk to him about some things, making local headlines as well. I told you, he's a very conscious brother, so I'm pretty sure he has a lot of insight and some things happening here in the 242. So just keep it eyes locked in. Right now, it's Blaze Up this one, man. DJ Khaled, Beyonce, Jay-Z with that shining. The Big L is in the building. Of course, we got Sasha Dunn as well. Mr. Vendetta. You still going by Vendetta?
Yeah, man. Vendetta's brand, man. That's the brand.
I know Vendetta was a whole group. The group still together, or it's just you doing your thing now?
No, it's still a group of people working in the background. It's just me. You see visible now. You see?
Okay, so I remember you had some artists, some younger artists. You were working with. Are you still working with those? There's a young girl.
Angel,
right? Yeah.
She stepped back for a moment because keep in mind she's a young lady and she has to deal with school.
Yeah, she was still in school
and life and everything. You know what I'm saying? So rather than constant conflict with that, we just said we step back and just let her do life for right now. Mm-hmm. And Clark, he's doing his own independent thing now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But that's the one thing about me as an artist. My whole goal is not to be a whole diva and take over the whole scene. My goal is to work with other people because I see it as an industry as opposed to just being one individual. Because I saw Jay-Z says is that if you're the hardest rapper in your area, you ain't that hard, you see, because the minute you cool off, like nature naturally do, what can happen then? The whole area cool off?
Yeah, you got to put other people on. You got to make sure the fire keep burning.
Yeah, man. See, and that's the only thing to rise the whole Bahamas all at once, you know what I'm saying?
Alright, man, Sash, we got a track we about to blaze off from you. It's called Big Bang Theory. I want to blaze this one out first because the conscious side of this track, you know, it's all about your blackness, your heritage, your culture, the strength within you. Now, why'd you name it Big Bang Theory, though?
Timing.
Timing?
Yeah, because me and my boy Pat Rock recorded that. Okay. And right before we recorded that, I come in the studio, meet Pat watching Big Bang Theory, the show, oh, well, like, we watched a couple episodes of it. I mean, I didn't find the show that interesting. I mean,
What? I love Big Bang Theory.
People say they love Big Bang Theory.
I love Big Bang Theory, bro.
It was weird. I mean, I guess my mind still used to stuff like Seinfeld type of comedy, I guess, or maybe modern type of comedy. But anyhow, when right then he brought the beat to me, and it was like, let's try this beat, and then just the song just came out. And then I realized the Big Bang Theory ain't just like the Big Bang Theory being the show or the theory of life starting from a Big Bang, but rather that Big Bang in your mind that goes off when you become conscious of who you are as a person, you know what I'm saying?
For real. Because
one thing we all have to admit is this. Big L, before, if I see you from like 10 feet off or 15 feet off and I don't know who you is, what are the first two words I can say you is? I just define you as?
I don't know what.
Black man.
Black man, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
That would be, like, without any physical attributes up close or whatever, they would be the most distinctive features you would be able to say. The skin color and the fact whether it's male or female. In some cases, you know, some people you just can't.
Yeah.
The teams have changed. But we want to blaze this one off, man. It's called Big Bang Theory. I'm going to blaze this one off, and then we're going to talk a little deeper into what the song really means. And then there's another one that we're going to blaze up this morning called Wake and Bake.
Yeah.
Now that one. Yeah, right. That's a summer one for sure. You know, you got a lot of free time on your hand. When you wake up, all right, then you bake up. But right now, let's spin this one off, man. Big Bang Theory, Sasha Dunn representing Vendetta, Martin Timmons on 194. Feeling that joint, man, definitely a conscious one to make you, kind of sort of wake your mind up, make you think about a whole lot of things as it relates to your, you know, your ethnicity, your blackness. For those of you who on that melanin side of things, all right? Keep it out, talk to Big L's in the studio. Sasha Dunn is here as well. Big to Mr. Magical. Rudy Grant just walked in the studio. Now, I want to talk to you about some things happening in the country, you know what I mean? I know you're a very conscious brother, so I figured it wouldn't be hard for us to have a conversation about things happening locally, even though, you know, as an artist, you try not to get involved in all the politics and the, you know, this and that and all that stuff.
But we have to deal with this life as reality, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is. You live in the country, things are happening in the country, it has to affect you, so
naturally.
I'd want to know your opinion on some things happening, all right? Now, you know, VAT was introduced, well, the VAT was increased and reintroduced earlier this summer, in July to be exact, and now that things have, you know, kind of sort of simmered in some sense, you know what I mean? We have a better, you know, feel of how this thing goes as you relate to your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month spending.
Yeah.
When VAT was first increased, and there was a whole lot of talk about which way they should go in terms of increasing because they said they needed more money. How do you feel about it? Do you feel as though they actually needed more money, or was it more of the way they spending, or how do you feel about that?
Well, naturally, I mean, if you're saying we need more money, overall, the bigger question I think all of us should be asking rather than thinking about what's the increase in VAT is why are we paying VAT in the first place?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like who is this money going to?
Wow.
See, guys, and I think that's a bigger question a lot of us can't answer. And that's the scary part about it because every one of us paying VAT. This ain't like something me and L paying because we're adults. No, children paying VAT on candy, pimp. I mean, everybody have to pay VAT, boy, from the older. But then guess who ain't paying VAT?
Oh, who ain't paying VAT?
Tourists, man.
Well, it depends on where the tourists go, though.
Listen, brother.
It depends on where the tourists go.
What's the tourist put the American passport?
Well, that's true. But you do realize that in some states as well, if you present your passport, you don't pay taxes there either.
That's reality. But
you know, you can take a benefit. A lot of people don't know that though, so they just go and they just pay what they pay. But if you carry your Bahamian passport when you do your big shopping in the states as well, you can get you can pay taxes.
I have uncle specialize in that, so he's what you call a cheap one, you see?
Yeah, okay. All right, now what about this, the whole Shantytown situation? What's your feel on that?
Boy.
Now, you know that's deep because a lot of your artist friends, a lot of your DJ friends, a lot of, you know, everyone you run into interaction with, you know, somebody knows somebody affected by the Shantytown situation.
See, there's two state of minds. When looking at the situation, there's two state of minds I have to go in, which is my classic Bahamian mind, which is the xenophobic, somewhat worried about my the continuation of my nationality. Be like, hold on, buddy. Does this infringe on what it means to be a classic Bahamian, you know what I'm saying? And then I have to look at it from a Pan-African point of view, which is all of us as Africans. I mean, you may say you're a Haitian, you may say you're a Trinidad, you're a Jamaican, but all of us come from one ship, but you just get you off of different places, you see?
That's for real. All right, y'all keep it out. Talk to man. More Intimate continues on 194. We still got a new track to blaze off from Sasha Dunn, so don't miss it. 2,000 big L's in the... Well, I just said that. Yeah, I'm in the building alongside Sasha Dunn. We are representing this the morning after. Don't forget, the show is brought to you by Alive. It's good to be alive. National Workers Cooperative Credit Union, Sun Oil Limited, Commonwealth Bank, and Domino's Pizza. Now, Sasha is in the building, and we were talking about a whole lot of things, but he also came to release some new music this morning. This one's called Wake and Bake. Now... Of course, you can come up with whatever you want to come up with as we get into the song. But I'm going to let Sasha actually describe what the song is all about, Sasha. This is how you normally have your mornings?
It's an experience, bro.
It's an experience.
Like Jimi Hendrix asked on his first album, "Are you experienced?"
Are you experienced? Now, the mere fact that you're relating, you're quoting Jimi Hendrix, should put people in the frame of mind to know where this guy headed in this track. But Jimi Hendrix is very known for his, acceptance of psychedelics. Yeah, thank you. I needed to be a little on that word.
Now, let's break down the word psychedelic.
All right.
The word psych derives from the Greek word psyche, which means soul. Mm-hmm. So all this psychedelic is allowing you to
Psyche means soul?
Psyche means soul.
Oh, I didn't know.
So that's like psychology, because that's all the psychologists are doing, analyzing your soul.
Oh, I thought it was a brain thing.
See, where's your soul reside?
Okay, here we go.
So there's the soul.
We're about to get deep, y'all. About to get deep.
So the soul resides, some people say that the throne of the soul resides inside the pineal gland, which is at the dead center of the human brain. And that's all a psychedelic allows you to do. And that's why they classify marijuana, mushrooms as psychedelics, because these are plants that allow you to have access to your psyche. And obviously the government won't allow you to access such things because, let's break down the word government. Government inside Latin means govern, and mente, which means mind also, which means mind.
So control the mind.
Or mind control. Because in Latin you speak backwards to speak forward, you see.
Dun, dun, dun. Learn. Y'all paying attention? Okay, I told y'all we could get deep in just a minute. So you, in your opinion, well, not only your opinion, in your studies, you revealed that government means mind control.
Yeah.
Wow. So are you one who advocates, or you're a proponent for the legalization or the decriminalization of marijuana?
1,101%. And remember, what we talking about the fact. We need new industries, pimping.
So you think marijuana would be the way to go?
Yes, marijuana is the future of the Bahamas.
How much money we could possibly make from marijuana, though?
Trillions.
Trillions?
See, because the thing you think about is this. You think about us smoking it. But beyond us smoking part of it is a $1 billion industry, because you know Wiz Khalifa's going to be a billionaire in, I think it's like 4 years, right?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, because he has this thing called Khalifa Kush.
Okay.
And all they do is just keep cloning the plant over and over and over, and he's selling the plant along with him. And so the plant, as long as the plant keeps selling, and we keep getting this legalized.
And he's going to be a billionaire in 4 years? That's the projection?
They're projecting for 5 years. And I think we're 1 year into it already, so it's 4 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, you see, and then see that's only from smoking it. Now keep in mind for marijuana.
That's only one person.
Now keep in mind with marijuana, you can make something called hempcrete, which is hemp. Because keep in mind with marijuana, you have two plants. You have the female plant, which is cannabis sativa, and then you have the male plant, which
You've
is
really studied marijuana, haven't you?
Yes. you got to study to be approved, to show yourself approved. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. All right, so let's get into the track, man. It's called Wake and Bake. It's all about, marijuana. I can't even. I try to sugarcoat it as best I could, but that's pretty much the gist of the song, man. And of course, he is a proponent of it, and he believes in the decriminalization of marijuana, and definitely the legalization and the new industry that marijuana could bring here in the 242. So we blaze up this track. Then we'll talk a little bit more to Sasha Dunn. More Intimidate on 194. Here's Wake and Bake. Oh, Elliot, during the song, we were talking about Elliot and his movement. Remember when he was actually on the show with me a few months back when he was in town, and he's talking about his fight and his plea to the government to take medical marijuana a little bit more seriously. He wasn't even talking about just recreational use. No. He said that could come in time, but we definitely should look deeper into medical marijuana.
Yes, because the one thing we have to admit in this country is this, levels of cancer in this country is out of control. But
out of control.
I mean, like out of control. And this is funny joking, I don't know, clowning, I don't know. Or let's look at this reality, dog. Because let me show you how crazy it is. My aunt was dying from cancer in hospital. Then I got a random call from a friend and a customer. She called me and says, "Hey, I'm in the hospital dying from cancer." So all I do is just go down to the female medical surgical 2, and I saw mom there. So I'm visiting 2 different females who ain't connected at all, and the 2 of them in the last stages of cancer dying.
Wow. And you believe, from your research, that marijuana could have helped these people at some point during their stages of cancer?
Let's be real, but we have to look at reality, not how we feel about something or how we was programmed to think about something.
I think a lot of people are concerned when you speak about marijuana, it has to be a smoking thing. That's what I think people feel. I think that's the connection. Like they always feel like you have to smoke it, so they're a little timid or a little worried about it or don't understand how it's going to benefit you if you have to smoke something.
See, now keep in mind, you have what they call cannabis oil or the THC oil. Like take for example, people with Parkinson's, once they get that oil, it slows down their shaking to the point where they ain't shaking at all. Seizures. There's this little boy who used to have seizures every day. He like 7 or 11 seizure attacks. The minute his parents put like the oil on his tongue in the morning, that boy straight for the whole day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? There's no play thing, but understand something. God made a symbiotic system between man and plants. And for us to show how crazy how government controls your mind. Because after 40 years of telling people, or 40 or 50 plus years of telling people, this plant is the evil thing, people scared of a plant. Think about that, hell. God made plants be. So you scared of a plant. That's insane. You know what I'm saying? It's like plants, the only reason we could breathe right now is because we have plants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only reason we can eat is because cows eat plants, then we eat the cows to get the proteins that are supposed to come from the plants. So there's a symbiotic system that's set up in place, what God has set up in place. We just diverge from it because we're so, I don't know.
Under control.
Not I'm saying under control, but we're under a way of thinking. Western philosophy has us crazy as hell, B.
Wow.
Marcus Garvey said this one thing. If the black man's not careful, he will consume the same poison that's just that his white counterparts will consume.
Wow. All right, man. That's Sasha Dunn right there. Like I told you, a very insightful young man. You can follow him on social media. He always posts things along the lines of this as well, so you can get more insight into his psyche and into the way he thinks as well, and some of the research that he's come across. So give them your social media handles.
Oh, man.
Also for your music now.
Now, I have an album out called $2 Joints. You can go on $2 Joints. You can go on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, find it there. Any digital platform, you can find it on there. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Sasha Dunn 242. Go on Facebook, Sasha Dunn, SASHADUNN. And from there, just Google me, man. You can see all the crazy things come up.
Sasha Dunn. Y'all keep it eyes on to me. I'm about to take a short commercial break. When we get back, we also have to check in with Jerome, who's representing for Sideline Sports ENT. We want to thank my brother Sasha Dunn for coming through this morning and enjoying the morning after. We take this break. More in 2 minutes on More 94.